A quick roundup of global developments only on StratNews Global. Chinese President Xi Jinping's trip to Serbia came on the 25th anniversary of the NATO bombing of China's embassy, in which 3 Chinese journalists were killed. Xi was welcomed by his Serbian counterpart at the Belgrade airport with the military guard of honor. Belgrade, after France, is the second stop on Xi's first visit to Europe in 5 years. Serbia is seen as China's most important partner in the Balkans. Belgrade streets were decorated with Chinese flags and placards as thousands of police officers were deployed to secure Xi and his 400-member entourage, the highest level visit by a foreign leader in years. Russia has warned that if French President Emmanuel Macron sends in troops to Ukraine, they would be seen as legitimate targets by the Russian military. In February, Macron had created a flutter by saying he could not rule out deployment of ground troops in Ukraine in the future. The French leader warned that if Russia wins in Ukraine, then Europe's credibility will be reduced to zero. If the French appear in the conflict zone, they will inevitably become targets for the Russian armed forces, said Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova. With the Paris Olympics a couple of months ago, France is leaving nothing to chance when it comes to security. GIGN, one of France's elite tactical units responsible for freeing hostages, counter-terrorism operations and other high-stake raids, has been practicing to deal with any such eventuality. It was founded 50 years ago after the 1972 Munich Olympics massacre, in which 11 Israelis were killed by a Palestinian militant group. Romania's president says he is open to discussing the sending of a Patriot missile system to Ukraine after meeting US President Joe Biden at the White House. The comments also follow German appeals to European Union and NATO member states to bolster Ukraine's air defenses. Romania signed a $4 billion deal to attain Patriots in 2017, the NATO and EU states' biggest procurement contract to date, with the first shipment delivered in 2020. The Israeli military has played down an arms shipment holdup by US administration, which is troubled by the operation in the southern Gazan city of Rafah. When there are disputes, and they are being resolved behind closed doors in a matter-of-fact way. We are responsible for the security interests of the State of Israel, and we are attentive to the interest of the US in the region, said Israel's chief military spokesperson, Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari. Armed forces of the US and Philippines have sunk a mock enemy warship using artillery, airstrikes and high-precision rockets off the Philippines' western coast on Wednesday during annual joint military drills. US F-16 and Philippine Air Force fighter jets dropped air-to-ground missiles with multiple naval and ground assets, fired Sea Star anti-ship missiles to target the decommissioned tanker located 8.5 nautical miles away. The annual drills, which involve about 16,000 Filipino and American troops, began last month and will run until May 10. They come at a time of escalating tensions between the Philippines and China in the South China Sea. Ukrainian forces have attacked an oil storage depot and sparked a large fire, injuring 5 people on the outskirts of the Russian-held city of Luhansk in eastern Ukraine, the region's Russian-installed leader has said. He later reported that 5 employees of the depot were taken to the hospital. All units from the local division of Russia's emergency ministry were deployed to put out the fire and keep nearby buildings safe. London's Gar Club has voted to allow women to join for the first time since it was founded about 200 years, responding to growing public pressure to end archaic all-male setup. Reports say the vote was passed with nearly 60% in favor. The last such voting happened in 2015 and was rejected, as a 2/3 vote was then needed to change the club's rule. A leak earlier this year revealed that the club members include several establishment figures such as King Charles, senior politicians, judges and actors.